Hello Webbies, my name is Bob McPherson. This short video is going to show the concept and technique of using FTP, which is File Transfer Protocol. After completing your website files, the files have to be uploaded to a web server so that they'll be accessible to everybody in the world across the web. This is a rather simple process and usually involves connecting to a web server and logging in using a username and a password. In this example, everyone in the web design class has been set up with a folder on our student web server, and of course they have FTP access. We will be using Windows Explorer to connect to the server and copy the files. So to begin with, we will use a Windows Explorer window, which shows here as the computer with various storage devices. To establish a connection, the first thing we want to do is we want to click in the address bar and we want to type the address of our server. The address for our particular case is ftp:studentweb.surrey.edu. The FTP protocol is very important, so you need to make sure that you put that in. After you type in the address, you hit the enter key. A dialog box will appear, and that's used for entering your username and a password. The folders on our server have been set up using the network username for the folder name, and this is also the username for the login. The password that we have set up is also the network password. So for our case, we type in our username WebTech, which is the same as our folder name, and our password is a secret, but I will type it in. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Of course you don't see it, and then you click on log on. In this case you see a blank window. No error messages. That's a good sign. Had there been any files previously uploaded, we would see those. So if we don't see an error message, we're okay. The next step we need to do is to select the files to be copied to the server. I have switched to a different location, storage location. This is the source storage location where my files are at that I'm going to be copying. You'll see three objects here. There's an images folder. There's also two web files. One is a CSS file and one is an HTML file. To select these files, I just simply click on the first one or any of them, hold down the control key and select whichever files that I need to upload to the server. Once I get them selected, I can just simply use the normal Windows copy method, or I can drag them to the window that I'm uploading to. But for purposes of this video, I'm simply going to use Control C and copy these files to the Windows clipboard. I'm now back at the window that shows me my connection to the web server. I come inside this window, make sure I selected, and then I'm going to use the Windows paste method of Control V. I do see a dialog box showing me that the files are being copied up to the web server. When I get through, I'll see icons for those particular files. Our last step is to go to a browser and test to make sure that the files are working correctly. So I'm using Firefox. I come up to the address bar and I type in the URL of our web server. So the URL is studentweb.surrey.edu/web210, another slash, and the name of our folder is WebTech. When I hit enter, there is my web page. After I get through making sure that the files work, all that I need to do is simply close the server FTP window. Once I close that window, then that will automatically disconnect us from the server. When copying files to the server, make sure that the structure of your files remains the same from the source to the web server. Also, make sure that you only copy the files that are used in the website and do not copy unnecessary files to the server. FTP is a relatively simple process. Just make sure that the address you're using to connect and your login information is correct. You can also use some FTP client programs. They're easy to use. Some of these are free, quick to install and set up. So there you have it. That's FTP. Real simple to use, not very difficult. And I hope you enjoy continuing working on the web.